It's too soon to fully understand what a U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan will mean for the region. The ramifications will play out over years, possibly decades. One thing security experts say to expect will be a U.S. refocus to the Indo-Pacific, and that is welcomed by countries from Japan to the Philippines. And America is not alone on this. The European Union is developing a new strategy for the region. Right now, France is the only European country with significant naval forces in Asia, but things are starting to change. Germany is sending its first warship over in almost 20 years. One of the main reasons has to do with trade. About 40% of global trade goes through the Straits of Malacca, and about a fifth to a third of trade travels through the South China Sea. We have Göran Svistek of the German Institute for International and Security Affairs, and he is an active duty officer in the German Armed Forces. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
So I want to start. Tell us, what can one frigate in the Indo-Pacific do?
From an operational perspective, not much, but it's clearly a political sign from the German government to the region, Indo-Pacific region.
And China has not reacted well to this and has criticized Germany for sending, quote, confusing signals. And Germany has asked for a port call in Shanghai, which Beijing has yet to grant. So what is Germany's message here?
So in accordance with the guidelines for the Indo-Pacific issued by the German government last year, one part of the operation of the route for the German frigate is also to show our understanding of the international law and the freedom of navigation. China has a quite different understanding of this interpretation of the international rules and the freedom of navigation, especially in the South China Sea. So there is the friction between Germany and China.
Now, I think for a lot of people, Asia is literally half a world away for the European Union. I want to ask about the interest here in a new EU strategy for the Indo-Pacific.
The Asia region, or Indo-Pacific region, as it is also called, is one of the biggest trading partners for Europe, not just for Germany, but also for Europe, China, but also other countries, Australia, Indonesia, Japan. So especially the maritime domain in this region is the highway, transport way of goods, resources, coming to Europe or going in the other direction, having been produced in Europe, then back to Asian countries.
I think some people must wonder how much of this is happening because of U.S. pressure on the EU due to the rocky bilateral relations we're seeing between the U.S. and China, and how much does it actually have to do with European interests? What do you say to people who are wondering that?
I would say for many experts or pundits, it has been clear since a few years that there's a growing risk in the Asia-Pacific region, in the Indo-Pacific region. We do have this rivalry between the US and China, but also the West, I would say, about norms and how we apply international regulations, how we conduct trade, etc. But also in Europe, it has become clear in recent years, more clearer, not just to pundits and experts, but also to the broader public, to politicians in the parliament, what kind of risk we do have in the Indo-Pacific region. That was one of the main points why the German government has published last year the guidelines for the Indo-Pacific region.
Göran Svistek, thank you so much for joining us.